Tes. Apakah sudah mulai live kita? Sudah mulai guys. Oke guys, jadi welcome back with me. Oke. Akhirnya kita bermain game yang berbeda kali ini, yaitu game di mana game gua? Nah, ini dia, Planet Zoo. Oke. Planet Zoo.
Kenapa lo?
Hah?
Kenapa lo?
Kenapa apaan?
Oh, enggak. Ya kira lu kenapa?
Gak jelas anjing. Aduh.
Enggak, gua kan tadi nggak pakai headset, baru dengar suara lu hang gitu. Gua denger. Kenapa?
Gue streaming.
Oh. YouTube.
Hah.
Gua nyari YouTube di YouTube aja. Ada yang Planet Zoo.
Gimana caranya ini bermain, guys? Ditabrak. Kita skip saja. Create my avatar. Oke. Nih, sepertinya terlalu besar. Kita bikin 80. Kita bikin 55, kita bikin 55. Nah, voice oke lah.
50-an.
Dah. Lu mending nonton live gua ada di Discord.
Oh, di Discord. Lu live-nya di
Salah lagi anjing.
live-nya di ini.
Dah. Nah, ini avatar kita, guys. Kita warna ini aja. Headnya head. Tapak rambutnya ganti dulu dong.
Mana rambutnya nggak ada? Itu rambutnya.
Ntar beard. Anjing.
Kumis baplan dong. Ada yang kibo bang.
Palanya lonjong guys.
Kenapa kayak ini ya? Pala apa?
Paladin.
Team Fortress aja.
Oh ya King. Anjing ini mantap nih.
Pertama nomor satu.
Jelek anjing. Kelihatan palanya nggak bulat bang. Ini aja lah. Warnanya kita ganti.
Kibo banget.
Keren sekali.
Enggak kuning dong, lu kan kuning.
Alisnya juga bang.
Enggak, bule banget. Ada yang warna-warna itu.
Warna-warna lah keren. Nggak bisa warna merah doang ini.
Udon. Itu bisa diganti? Nggak ya?
Gini doang. Ya udahlah.
Ya.
Better. Mukanya guys. Mukanya.
Nyatu sama leher.
Ini aja guys. Ini lebih apa ya? Mendingan lah. Biar nggak usah lah ya. Kita masih muda, nggak punya biar kita.
Itu yang dua paling bawah.
Kanguru.
Australia banget.
What?
Kemeja.
Mana tadi kemeja? Kok gini warnanya?
Ganti.
Oh ini bisa gini.
Pak Jokowi.
Hah?
Pak Jokowi.
Ini keren nih. Nah, celananya kita pakai yang
kecil banget.
ini aja lah ya, santuy.
Jin biru lah, biru tua. Biru muda tuh.
Bagus nih bang. Ini apa topi?
Ini yang badak. itu ada yang babon.
Wih anjing, gorila. Bukan ini apa?
Babon bukan sih?
Babon.
Ini bukan.
Babon.
Bawahnya apa itu bawah babon?
Apa ya? Dinosaurus.
Anjing dinosaurus.
Tapi jelek, rambut gua nggak kelihatan anjing, palanya ntar. Rambut lo udah keren.
Gendut.
What? Tahu.
Oh enggak.
Udah gini aja. Oke, nggak ada lagi kan?
Sepatunya nggak ada.
Nggak ada.
Terus pakai kacamata nggak ada yang lain.
Nggak ada, itu doang. Ini 2 doang.
Ini bagusan yang biasa.
Nih. Gak usah apa ya?
Enggak, matanya titik doang aja.
Ini titik doang. Dah. Nggak ada namanya kah? Oh, namanya udah Kibo-Gigi langsung ya. Oke.
Indo.
Mana Indo?
Terus geser. Bawah dong. Tuh.
Mana? Kalimantan.
Jakarta.
Position letter. Hah? Ini.
Jawa dah, di Jawa dong. Di Jawa ada apa nih?
Jawa apa Kalimantan?
Jawa mana sih lu?
Jakarta. Nih, Jakarta.
Anjing. Lu nggak tahu map Indo ya?
Tahu? Yuk, enggak. Kalau ini jelek anjing, ada bulut-bulutannya. Mau di mana? Wih, keren juga ya. Anjing. Mana nih?
Jepang, atas Jepang. Oh, Jepang. Oke. Cina tuh Cina deh. Nggak tahu Cina lagi di mana.
Jelek tapi bang. Nah ini masalahnya gini. Kalau kita begini pasti ada musim-musimnya juga kan? Harusnya.
Iya harusnya.
Nah itu yang bikin repot. Terus juga suhu.
Ya udah, Indonesia udah cuma 2 musim.
Yang mau di mana?
Panas doang. Iya, Kalimantan.
Kalimantan.
Iya.
Bentar, buka.
Anjing lu nyari lagi Kalimantan mana?
Buka rokok dulu.
Oh, bakar.
Buka.
Kira lu nyari Kalimantan gimana?
Apa di Bali kali ya?
Kenapa begini? Bali.
Tapi kayaknya luas ini bang.
Bentar.
Oke, kita lihat dulu ya. Ketiduran Bang Hegar off stream katanya.
Iya minta anjir. Bang, bikin MPL. Kintil tidur.
Apa stream MPL?
Iya.
Pulau Kalimantan. Kita cari yang di mana yang
Ini
mantap.
Ini lu nge-streamingin Discord.
Emang ya? Kok gitu ya? Oh, ini belum gua ini anjing. Screen-nya lu lah. Kita lihat di mana yang paling mantap ya?
Malaysia.
Jangan. Sini kali ya nih, daerah sini.
Lu nyarinya apa Pulau Kalimantan?
Daerah sini kali ya.
Yang tinggi lah, yang tinggi jangan yang di bawah.
Palangkaraya. Yang tinggi.
Iya.
Kalau Pulau Jawa jelek, Bang.
Enggak, di Kalimantan tapi di daratan tingginya.
Pulau Jawa terlalu ini. Apa? Daratan tingginya. Sini berarti daerah sini atau sini?
Iya.
Sini kali ya.
Iya itu boleh.
Oke. Berarti anjing nggak bisa di zoom lagi. Daerah sini ya?
Iya, bawahan dikit. Kiri.
Nih.
Iya.
Oke. Harus you can edit.
Yes.
Bisa diedit lagi.
Oh ya. Terus Francis.
Franchise apa ya? Build around the right. Oh.
Franchise kayaknya lu bisa bikin franchise-nya di habis karir.
Bukan, beli binatangnya online, Bang. Tuh. Kalau sandbox, build your dream zoo with no restriction. Oh, karir aja lah.
Karir. Apa tuh buat with house?
Time? Hah? Cuma satu lagi.
Tutorial itu.
Haruskah? Medium aja lah. Terus ini time scan video.
Before the bee.
Kayaknya seru nih. Antara ini sama ini.
Ya coba dulu aja lah.
Ini apa bintang nih? Oh,
krokodil. Flamingo.
Itu flamingo ini reptil gitu ya berarti. Kalau ini apa terenggiling kan? Armadillo kan? Oh, inilah Bang.
Anjay, kibuk mantap yuk. Yes, ke.
Ini udah. Apa bisa langsung ini sih?
Yang karir aja dulu itu kan time scan apa? Skenario.
Ini berarti.
Udah karir aja nih.
Tutorial tapi Bang.
Nggak tahu tadi milih tempat apa sih, asal kitanya gitu.
Mungkin bisa jadi.
Surface lock. Tapi gue mau makan apa deh?
Mau makan lah.
Anjing lama banget.
Mending Jawa, Bo. Jawa banyak kuli. Anjing kuli. Mau diapain cok kuli? Kuli suruh jadi kiper gitu.
Kiper.
Ya udah ntar juga ada yang ini. Ada yang apa namanya? Ngerantau jadi kiper.
Ntar harimau nabrak mobil. Lagi main.
Anjing harimau nabrak mobil. Udah kayak ini. Iya, udah di mana itu ya? Keren juga.
Heyo at Hematu. Iya. Oh.
Jadi lu nggak jadi beli
cok-cokan kebun.
I have a habit of
Cok-cokan kebun apa tuh?
back into the Planko language. It's great to finally meet you in person. I'm Bernard, although I insist you call me Bernie. The only person who calls me Bernard is my
Anjing,
wife.
detailnya keren banget ya.
Only when I've tracked elephant dung into the carpets. As you know, I own several zoos, but I always like to show people the ropes here at my home. This is the first zoo I ever opened, and a source of great pride for me. And pride, thanks to a lion breeding program we ran in the 80s.
Enggak, di streaming enggak.
But we're in the middle of a big renovation, and that's where you come in. Sadly,
apa nggak smooth gitu ya?
Contractor had to retire after developing a fur allergy. Poor devil kept sneezing his dentures into the lion.
Ya Discordnya itu.
So, it's up to you.
Gue pengen setting dulu dah.
Don't worry though. I'm
Gimana
not
settingnya dah?
completely throwing you in at the deep end. My head
Pause
keeper,
dulu.
Nancy
Settingnya di mana dah?
Jones, will be lending a helping hand. Oh, she's a hard worker, and she'll
Harus
expect
di menu
you
kah?
to be too. But
Guys
I'm
yang
sure
tahu
you'll get along like a
infonya.
house on fire, or even better, one that isn't on fire. Less shouting that way.
Gue pengen setting dulu anjing. Gimana caranya?
Ya itu tadi escape. Setting. Grafik.
Tuh guys, PC gue kentang guys. Goblok. Santai aja lah medium.
Low. Off. Apa itu? Kromatik.
Cara ini, cara ini gimana? Geser kanan kirinya.
Hello there. From that rosy,
Pakai
fresh
WC
face
coba.
of yours, I'm guessing
Nggak
you're
bisa.
Bernie's new hire.
Bisa harusnya.
Good. Now, I hope
WSD
you're
ini
ready
itu.
to diploma because we're about to get really
Putar.
hands-on. But before we begin the real
Oh, bisa juga.
work, how
Bisa.
about we familiarize you with the zoo by learning how to fly around it and visiting
Bakal di
some of
grizzly
our
bear
beautiful
habitat.
animals.
Oh, kita suruh
We'll
gituin
start by popping over
grizzly
and having
bear.
a look-see at the grizzly bears in their habitat.
Ya ini
Ada gue makan ya.
ini masalahnya cara kanan kiri gimana guys?
Mau
R kah?
makan.
Gak bisa.
Ingat kamu.
OP. Berarti terus caranya rotate, kamera rotate, gimana kamera rotate? Tolong guys, kamera rotate. Setting game. Nggak ada hotkey-nya gitu. Mouse control. Move cursor. Select object, kamera pen. Kamera tilt, rotate. Oh, tengah. Oh, gitu. Oke. Oke, pertama kita harus locate the grizzly bear habitat. Oke. Kita ke terus. Oh, gini ya. Ah, mantap. Ini apa nih? Kok udah ada hewan aja sih? Snow leopard namanya, uinya memang terus locate-nya kita locate di daerah ini apa? Goodwin House. Oh, di situ bisa tuh grizzly bear tuh. Nah, di sini. Oh, di sini belum ada, guys. Di sini kita taruh di sini kali ya. Masih kosong sih. Tapi kita cari lagi tempat lain coba. Oh, ini guys, disuruhnya di sini, guys.
Did you know that grizzly bears, also known as Ursus arctos horribilis, can hibernate for up to 7 months a year? Oh, but then again, given the chance, I think a lot of people would do that too. Select one of the bears and you'll bring up its information panel.
Nih.
This is where you can find out all kinds of information about your animal. The most important thing being its overall welfare. You'll learn more about animal welfare today as we go through your objectives. But for now, let's enjoy this magnificent animal. Why don't you select the camera at the bottom of its information panel? See, this is a fantastic way to get a close look at your animals. You can also get this view of an animal by simply double-clicking on it.
Double-clicking?
Okay, when you're ready, let's pop over to the other side of the zoo and take a look at the lions. I've marked their location for you to find.
Kita ke... masih kaku banget guys gua. Oh, ini dia. Kita disuruh ke sini.
Panthera leo leo, all the West African lion to you and me.
Ini yang laki,
ini
yang ceweknya. Udah ada anaknya.
Although prides of that size are pretty rare.
Lucu kali.
As Bernie would say, those
lucu guys
lions
anaknya.
are awesome, which is precisely why I handle training instead these days. Anyway, how about we get started on those objectives? Come on, let's head over to an empty habitat and see what it's doing there.
Lucu banget anjing sumpah. Cewek tapi guys, anaknya cewek. Empty habitat di mana nih? Oh itu. Ini buat kandang apa guys?
As you can see, it's a lovely space for animals,
Out
but
of
it's
interest,
missing a certain something. Well, two somethings. Warthogs. So I'd like you to adopt a pair of them. To adopt animals, we need to open the animal market, which is in the animal trading section. There we are, a pair of perfectly splendid warthogs for our zoo. Just click on them and select Adopt from the side menu. Normally the animal exchange would be full of animals, but I've emptied out the market while you learn how it works.
Duitnya lumayan terus juga ya.
The last thing I need is you accidentally ordering a dozen elephants.
Suruh beli berapa kita? 2. Oke.
When you adopt an animal, it's automatically placed in the trade center where they're held until you're ready to move them into their habitat, which, as it happens, you are. So how about you move them into their new home? When you ask for an animal to be moved into a habitat, your caretakers will go to the trade center, collect your animal, and deliver them to your selected habitat. I've marked the trade center's location, so let's go and watch the caretakers in action.
Mana? Belum datang kah? Oh ini guys, hewannya guys. Yang cewek namanya Nanyamka. Nah ini satu lagi baru datang nih. Ini yang cowok guys. Apply remove konservatif. Ini apa guys? Terus ngapain kita nih? Locate amino trade center, hah? Oh. Suruh taruh trade center gitu. What? How? Kita punya tadi nanya muka. Coba kita taruh. Oh ini. Gimana cara ngejualnya guys? How? Animal harusnya dia animal. Oh animal storage tuh. Zoopedia box animal. Oh kita taruh box dulu kali ya, kita taruh storage. Unbox all animal, unbox ya. Cuma gitu doang guys. Call keeper to habitat. How dude? Ini gain enrich environment. Hei kiper, jangan maju dulu lah. Jangan pergi dulu lah. Hah? Mana Cok kipernya Cok? Oh ini kipernya. Placing food Indian people. Ramai pengunjung. Harusnya sih kita ini dulu ya. Masukin ke box nggak sih? Food. Gimana guys? Yang tahu bantu dong guys. Caranya masukin ke ini tadi. Masukin ke animal storage. Empty trade. Oh. Ya berarti betul kita harus masukin dulu. Yang cewekan aja kali ya. Move to kok nggak bisa? Nutrisi. Ini apa nih? Gimana tadi kandang babi gua? Kenapa nih guys nggak bisa guys? Kira-kira kita harus tambahin tempat minum dulu kah? Nutrisi, sosial, habitat, welfare, fasilitas, atur habitat. Kok kosong semua ya? Gak bisa kita send guys. Locate animal. Oh, trade center. Trade center di mana? Trade center. Move to trade center. Ini apa? Oh itu trade center guys. Ini kan?
Well, as you can see, those caretakers don't hang about. They'll move those animals to their destination as fast as possible.
At feeding
Of course,
station, at
normally
water
we'd have to
station,
place the
at
animals
toy.
into quarantine before moving them into a habitat. But I am assured by a person of good standing that these warthogs are in the very rudest of health. Right, let's get the warthog's habitat finished up so we can keep them nice and
Okay.
happy. You see, each animal in the zoo has an overall welfare statistic, basically how happy they are. And that overall welfare statistic is itself comprised of 4 different areas: nutrition, social health, habitat, and enrichment. Luckily, if you select an animal, you'll bring up their animal welfare information panel, which we saw earlier, where you can see how they're doing. That way, you'll know exactly what areas need to be addressed. Don't worry if that's a lot to remember. You can always check the Zoopedia for more information. Let's start by making sure we're taking care of the warthog's nutrition welfare. To do this, we'll need to place a food station and a drinking station. Now, each animal requires a different
Mahal kali.
type of feeding station. And for the warthogs, it's a small feeding trough. So let's add one of those and a water bowl.
Edit barrier. Nih, water bowl. Water bowl. Taruh sini dulu sementara kali ya. dekat sini aja deh. Atau di sini. Oke. Terus makanan, food and water, feed terus mau. Sebelahnya kita taruh guys. Atau agak sinian.
Animals also require stimulation to keep them happy. Let's add a lovely mud bath for the warthogs to roll around in. That bath will count towards their enrichment welfare, specifically their toy enrichment welfare.
Z rotate. Oke. Toggle advance move. Ribet juga guys. What? Z buat rotate. Jangan melayang dong. Gini kali. Ini harusnya nggak melayang kan? Oh mantap. Terus udah kan ini? Suruh ngapain lagi kita? Add toy in. Oke. Fasilitas. Bukan fasilitas dong, habitat dong. Ini feeding. Add a mood bed. Oh ini toys. Oke. Taruh mainannya di agak sebelah sini kali. Tengah-tengah. Oke.
Nice work. You've got a knack for this, I see.
Locate the highlight.
Our contractor had to
Area,
leave in a
mana
hurry, so
highlight?
this place is in a feral state. Unfinished thingamajigs and whatsits all over the shop. But the first thing we need to finish is the ostrich habitat. It's over near the hippos.
Pause
I
time.
like it. A quick break. Sometimes it's a good
Add
idea to
habitat gate.
pause the game whilst you're doing something which requires your concentration, because it'll stop the zoo spinning out of control while you're looking the other way. Let's keep the game paused while we get this ostrich habitat built. Okay, job number 1 here is to add a habitat gate before we complete the barrier. Every habitat needs a habitat gate. After all, how else would the keepers get in and out? Just make sure it's hooked up to the path so the keepers can reach it.
Rotate.
Rotate.
What the hell?
Nggak ada ininya apa? Fast key-nya.
Apa?
Fast key.
Apa tuh Beski?
Iya, kunci cepatnya. Jadi biar pencet-pencet gitu, nggak usah ke menu putar gitu.
Ada harusnya. Oh. What the hell?
Kan bisa diundo itu.
Pencet apaan? Mana sih? Pencet. Y.
Nah itu.
Y.
Balik. Z.
Z. Hah? Tadi bisa? Ini anjing. Tapak. Tadi bisa. Oh, ini dia. Sini aja kali ya.
Right.
Mantap.
Let's complete the perimeter barrier so we can adopt us some ostriches. I've marked out an area for you to use, so I'd like you to finish off the perimeter using the brick barrier.
Siap bos. Anjing bawel kali kau. Ya tembok biasa lah. Nggak panjang, gimana cara biar nggak panjang? Ini tinggi enggaknya? What? Hah? Bro.
Good work.
Berisiko.
Remember, before you can place animals in any habitat, it has to have a full loop of connected barrier. Now, you've probably noticed that guests can't actually see into this habitat at the moment. At least not without a stepladder. But seeing as they're banned, I'd like you to select a piece of barrier and swap out the brick for a glass barrier, so the guests can see in.
Terus suruh bikin section glass
There
barrier.
we go. Adding in more windows gives guests even more opportunities to see the animals in a habitat. It's always best to make sure the guests can get a good view into a habitat from the path they're walking on, because it makes them happy, and because this would be a pretty terrible zoo if they couldn't.
Donation box.
The last thing we need to do is to add a donation box. You see, when guests enjoy the view of an animal, they'll make a donation. Just make sure you put them in easy-to-reach places, like near a viewing point. Donation boxes are one of the main sources of income for the zoo, so make sure you remember them. Now, before we adopt our ostriches, you should click the play button. After all, if the game's paused, then so are our caretakers, which will make it a bit tricky for them to deliver the ostriches, eh?
Unpause time.
By the way, as well as pausing the game, you can speed the game up by clicking on the fast forward button. It'll run everything at 2 times and 5 times faster. It can be useful, especially if you're waiting for money to accumulate or for animals to be delivered to your habitat. Personally, I use it when I'm waiting for a brew to finish. All right, you've finished the habitat, so it's high time we adopted those ostriches, don't you think?
Nih.
Let's get 4 of them in here.
Kita suruh ngapain lagi? Adopt and place 4 common ostrich. Oke. Refresh list. Adopt your ostrich. 4 suruh 4 anjing. Adopt.
While we wait for them to be
begitu
collected by
caranya.
the caretakers and brought to the habitat, you should get it ready for them. Add a suitable feeding station, water station, and an appropriate
Easy.
food enrichment item. It's often best to place things like enrichments and feeding stations near to the habitat perimeter, so guests can get a really good view of the animals.
Mana udah datang belum? Set up common ostrich at feeding, water, food, enrichment. Ya, onta gua belum datang anjing. Taruh agak dekat sini aja di tengah ya. tengah. Feed football rage. Water terus mau. Minumnya kita taruh agak sebelah sini.
Oh, good to see the ostriches have somewhere they can really stretch their legs. Did you know they can actually run at 43 miles per hour? Oh, heaven forbid they ever escape. The speed camera fines alone would bankrupt us.
Well, Bernie certainly seems impressed. Did you do his speed camera joke? Every time we get an ostrich. So, now we've made the ostriches' lives a bit better, let's do the same for the keepers, shall we? To make it easier for the keepers to feed the ostriches and hippos, we should build a new keeper hut. Keeper huts are where the keepers prepare the food for animals, so they should be placed near to the habitats to make sure the keepers don't waste their time walking when they should be looking after the animals.
Keeper hut kita yang jelek dulu deh.
You'll need to rotate the keeper hut to get it to connect up to the path.
Di mana taruhnya, bro? Oh, situ. Apakah sudah lurus? Dah. Terus?
This keeper hut only has space for one keeper, but the larger keeper hut can allow multiple keepers to prepare food at the same time. Oh, but bear in mind that keeper huts and other staff facilities shouldn't be placed near to areas where there are lots of guests.
No staff.
Guests don't like seeing facility buildings, and it can affect their happiness negatively. In case that wasn't clear. Something that all facilities, shops, and a whole host of other objects need is power. And that obviously includes your newly built keeper hut. So let's place a transformer next to it, shall we?
Power the keeper hut. Power the keeper hut. Transformer.
Now, the reason everything has gone blue is because you're using the power heat map. This map allows you to see what is and what isn't powered in your zoo. So, once you've placed your transformer, you can click in the bottom left to turn the heat map off.
Gunanya bakal?
Lovely work. Now the keepers can start using the hut to prepare food, and thanks to where you've put it, they won't need to walk very far to deliver it to the ostriches and hippos. Let's get on to your next objective then. Bengal tigers. We want to adopt some, but I'm afraid there's nothing ready for them yet. Head on over to the plot of land I've marked out. It's not too far away.
Udah. Oh. Pegawainya mana, guys? Oh, ini staffnya, guys. Oh, udah ada staffnya sekarang, guys. Lanjut misi selanjutnya. Locate the highlight area.
Righty, your next job is to build a habitat from scratch. And concrete and glass, I expect. So, go ahead and build it. Just make sure that the habitat includes that big hole we've dug. Oh, and don't forget to add a habitat gate to the barrier.
Okay.
Oh, and make sure the guests will be able to see the tigers.
Oh, water light, water light. Ini latih 6 berarti kan. Dari sini kita bikin sini, 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 sini. Ah, tuh. Cara ini gimana, guys? Cara memperpendeknya gimana, guys? Sih, bah. Sih enggak. Oh, pencet. What? Kok merah, guys? Aish. Oke, 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 oke. Ah, ini bentar lagi jadi pagernya. Gak bisa, guys, gimana biar bagus gitu kan, biar nggak ini. Oke, sudah. Terus kita bikin pintunya di arah sini aja kali ya. Apa di tengah-tengah sini kali ya. Mantap nih.
Bernie takes safety very
Set bondari
seriously at
itu.
his zoos, so we should probably make sure those tigers can't jump out of their habitat, don't you think? The way we'll do it is by changing the height of the habitat's barrier. Okay then, you should start by double-clicking the habitat barrier, which will take you into barrier editing mode. Great. Now highlight the entire perimeter of the habitat. You can do that by clicking and dragging the barrier selection tool.
Jadi 3,7. Serius? drag widget to select, drag the widget. Oh gitu. Oh. Drag the widget. What? What? Oh gitu.
Now you've got all of the perimeter selected, you can increase the height of it by clicking and dragging the barrier height tool upwards. You'll want to make sure it reaches a height of at least 3.7 meters.
3.7. Susah anjing.
Now that the habitat is in place, don't forget to put down a donation box near to your viewing areas. We need every dollar we can get. Especially as these tigers aren't exactly eating instant noodles for lunch.
Ah, ini udah sama semua kayak ini. Place a donation box. Nah, di situ jelek. Oh, di sini aja nih.
Okay, that's the habitat boundary complete, the habitat gate in place, and most importantly,
Jelek ya.
tigers won't be able to jump out of it anymore. I think it's
Demolish,
time we
nggak bisa
adopted
demolish.
those tigers.
Terus atap bengal tiger. Oke. Salah. Wah, mahal guys anjing. 12 juta.
Whilst our trusty caretakers collect and deliver the tigers, let's take a look at preparing the habitat for their arrival. We'll start with the basics. Add a suitable feeding station for them.
Oke, kita nunggu harimau kita datang. Ayo cepatlah, mana? Ada kereta guys. Apakah kita akan ditabrak kereta? Oh, itu kereta keliling guys. Oh, ini dia nih. Harimau kita sampai. Tuh guys, harimau kita sampai guys. Harimau ungal kita. Harimau bengal kita sampai guys. Tapi baru satu ya. Kita beli dua. Oh, ini dia nih, satu lagi nih. Ini yang langsung lari-larian dia. Ini yang betina guys. Nah, ini yang jantannya nih. Ini yang jantannya. Kita lihat apakah ada perbedaan antara jantan dan betina. Kita oke. Ngeri kali suara guys. Kalau buat yang ininya, ngapain yang itu? Kalau buat yang ininya, betinanya, sepertinya tidak ada perbedaan yang signifikan guys antara betina dan jantan. Tuh, ada kurir apa lagi tuh? Kita lihat. Apa lagi nih? Pak kiper. Misi kita selanjutnya apa guys? Setup feeding lake. Feeding ini apa nih? Food tray, tempat makan. Kita taruh di, oh jangan di situ guys, di sini aja nih. Agak ke ini nanti buat tempat air, buat dia berendam. Kita taruh sini dulu guys.
This time, instead of adding a water bowl, let's try something different. Some animals need a pool in their habitat so they can go for a swim, but they can also use it to drink from. All you have to do is make sure the banks of the pool have a gentle slope so they can easily get a nice, refreshing drink. There's already a pool excavated, but you still need to fill it with water. You should do that by going into terrain and selecting the water tool.
Oh, diterain lake mana lake? Calm water kita taruh di sini.
Yes, that'll do nicely. Of course, just like the warthogs and ostriches, these tigers will also need some enrichment. Why don't you add some suitable toy and food enrichment items into their habitats?
Wah, bener kan guys, buat berendam dia. Add water, remove water. Hai, aku hanya ingin mencoba. Valid. Ada yang valid lagi? Tidak ada. Sudah beres buat water. Terus kita tambahin lake. Lake udah. Food enrichment, toy enrichment. Mungkin babi pet. Kita taruh di ini buat apa ya? Oh, ini buat cakaran-cakaran gak sih? Cakaran harimau. Kita taruh nanti kan pengunjungnya bisa dari sana, bisa dari sini. Enaknya kita kasih dua nggak? Kita kasih dua guys. Berarti menghadapnya ke arah sini aja kali ya. Sini satu, sini juga satu guys. Nah, frozen blood pumpkin di sini kali ya.
Okay, it's really starting to take shape.
The rules increase
the tigers will need a shelter in their habitat so they can hide from the guests, or more likely the bad weather. Although given that we're in England, you might want to think of that just as normal weather. Go on, add a shelter to their habitat. You can either build one from various suitable bits and bobs, or if you like, just pop down the blueprint that I've already built for you.
Ini kita taruh di mana guys? Harus di dalam. Ini harusnya di dalam kan? Jadi kita taruh sini aja lah. Increase? How to increase? Dude.
Oh, poor Dabs. I'm sure it can't have escaped your attention that the tigers look a bit miffed. That's because they aren't too keen on the type of terrain in their habitat. Select a tiger and bring up its information panel.
Huh?
Rightio, click on the terrain tab. That way you can view the terrain information and see how they feel about the different types of terrain. That'll tell you what the tigers need more of or less of in this
grass
habitat.
long. Berarti dia butuh grass long.
Open the terrain editing tool, select painting, and give them some more soil. Yes, that should help with the habitat part of their welfare.
Coba kita lihat kedetailan grassnya guys. Ini untuk apa? Intensity. Nggak ada yang berubah guys. Udah kah? Oh 100% guys. Oh intensitas. Udah kan? Increase turn welfare. Soilnya udah. Deep water, soil. Soil heavy, soil light. Sama aja. Increase terrain welfare. Terrain welfare yang mana guys? Terrain stem, scoop, welfare, auto paint, snow, sand, grass short, grass long. Oh, ada yang berubah kah? What? Udah kan ini harusnya? Oh, train setup more. Grass short. Animal more. Grass short. Oh. Oh gitu guys. Kita paham gua. Berarti kita intensitasnya kita tambahin ini grass long. Ya kan? Tuh udah ada. Nih, ini bagian sini grass long nih. What? Terus kita tambahin soil. Soilnya kecil aja guys. Berarti kita butuh soil harusnya. Oh gitu. Soilnya kok nggak naik? Oh, soil naik. Grass long, grass short. Oke, kalau gitu grass shortnya kita taruh di bagian sini aja.
They say the
Easy,
good fences
guys.
make good neighbors. I guess that's doubly true when one of the neighbors is a Bengal tiger. Still, those tigers look so happy that I doubt they'd leave, even if you did poke a hole in their fence. Oh, but for heaven's sake, don't test that theory.
Stay tuned.
Right. Let's head over to the Indian peafowls. I've been told that we
Look
need
at
to
the
improve their
highlight
social
area.
welfare.
Adopt and the Indian
Now then,
people.
just find one of the peafowls and select them to open their information panel. Then we can have a good gander at how they're doing. Although technically, I suppose gandering would just be for geese.
Peafowl.
Expand their social welfare and we can get a bit more detail.
Huh? Indian Pivotal. Indian Pivotal. Gak ada guys di marketnya guys. Gimana dong? Tuh nggak ada guys. Indian Pivotal. Non. Animal market non. How dude? How dude? Suruh nge-adopt tapi nggak ada di marketnya. Kuda nil anjing. Rusak. Oh di Suka. Ini punya kita kan. Gak ada guys, gimana? Bak kah? Apa gimana ini? Bak atau gimana? Hah. Ini kandangnya udah jadi. How dude? Di sini doang beli. Ke trade center fasilitas What? Indian peafowl.
Now, they've clearly got plenty of space and they're not stressed, but it looks like their social group isn't quite right. So let's find out more. Click on the social tab at the top of their information panel to see what's wrong. Right, as you can see, the peafowls need their population to be larger. To solve this little problem, you'll need to adopt 3 more female peafowls. Off you pop to the animal market then.
Goblok. Cewek semua. Adopted. Sent to zoo.
Good work on those peafowls. I expect they'll be delivered soon. But sadly, it sounds like our snow leopard is a bit grumpy. Let's head over there and see what's wrong with her. Just like people, animals can suffer from stress if things aren't quite right. You know, like when you see someone put in the milk before the tea bag. In the case of these snow leopards, they're a bit stressed by their lack of privacy. You can lower their stress levels by swapping out the normal glass barrier by their cave for one-way glass. It's not a cheap option, but I think they're worth the expense, don't you?
One way.
This will give the snow leopards somewhere to go when they want to get away from the prying eyes of the guests.
Yang ini kah?
Of course, when an animal isn't in its natural biome, it's probably going to be too hot or too cold. Unsurprisingly for the snow leopards, it's too hot, even with the terrible British weather. You should help cool it down by adding some coolers to their habitat. But let's start by opening up the temperature heat map and having a look-see at the temperature in the leopard's habitat.
Okay. Open heat map. Turn on temperature.
As you can see, we already have one cooler in there. Let's pop some more down and get as much of the habitat
Nanti
as
kita
clean as we
kasih
can.
sprinkle.
Luckily for us, this habitat already has power, but you'll need to make sure of that in the future. Just so you know, if any part of a habitat is powered, then the whole habitat will be powered.
Oh, cooler. Satu lagi kita taruh di
You can find heat maps for all sorts of helpful things, so do be sure to explore them and make good use of them. It'll take a little while for the temperature to adjust once you've added coolers or heaters, but now we've got the coolers in, we can address the leopards'
Anjing, keren
terrain
juga loh.
welfare. You see, what the leopards really want in here is snow and rock, so let's make that happen.
Open the turbo, increase welfare. Terus nggak ke situ-situ dong. Hah?
All of that should give you a pretty good understanding of how to make animals happy. So I'd like you to go and check on all the other animals in the zoo and fix up any issues with their habitats. That'll increase the average welfare of the animals across the whole zoo. And that average welfare is a very important statistic. Now, to quickly see how all your animals are doing in the zoo, you should go into zoo management and then into the animals section.
Terus?
As you can see, this list shows you the animal's overall welfare. So if something's amiss, then you can quickly pop over to them using the locate button. Right, I'm off for a cuppa while you make sure all the animals are well looked after.
Betul, udah oke kan harusnya. Tuh. Grass sort. Kita taruh grass sort aja kali sini ya. Yang long. Sekarang soil. Soil. Soil udah naik 6%. Sen. Kegedean sih grass sortnya. Udah dong. Cara ngeliat average sih gimana cuy? Yang nonton aku, help me dude. grass shot. Sini aja kali kita kasih grass shot. Kita kasih snow, rapikan dengan snow. Nah, udah. Watercolor juga bisa diganti, guys. Nah, gini kali ya. Use natural color. Oke. Anjing 3%. Astaga. 3% lagi, guys. Dah. Masih. What the hell? Oke guys, kita save dulu kayaknya, guys. Save zoo. New to save good wine house. Save, kita exit to main menu, guys. Pusing juga ya. Seru-seru guys, tapi agak membingungkan. Oke guys, mungkin segini dulu live kita hari ini buat Planet Zoo. Oke, sampai jumpa di game lain. Oke, thank you guys yang udah nonton.